Happy Saturday, my friends, and welcome to the Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. My name is Bullskunk, and today I am bringing you some Tier 2 action between two teams looking to keep their playoff hopes alive here as we are in Week 6 of our Multi-Tier Tournament. We have the 4-1 Pluto Esports taking on 3-2 Levitate here in today's matchup. I am going to be one-man army here today, so forgive me if you get some pauses in the broadcast, or we will be dealing with the team captains as well as handling production. So, bear with me here. Do have a double header for you. Later on tonight, we will have two 4-1 teams battling it out in the Tier 3 scene. But in the here and now, it's Tier 2 time. And already we got some bits coming through. Thank you for the support. Look at chat blowing up. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is sure to be a heck of a match here for you today. We are going to be starting off on Ilios for your control map here in Week 6, followed by Blizzard World, Volskaya Industries for your assault map, Dorado to round out our 4-map set. Of course, we will go to Nepal if we do need that elusive tiebreaker map. You know, I love me a good map 5. And without further delay, we're just going to do some quick intros, and we're going to get right on into this thing. Of course, you can see up on your screen here now our hero pools for the week. And, missing that echo, missing our new character kind of hurts. If you've been watching somehow, you might have seen it put to good use. Oh, I did not mean to go to that screen just yet. Look at that. Look at it. We're already off to a good start. But the one that concerns me the most, back to those hero pools, is the Orisa. And how teams are going to adapt to not having the 4-legged horse main tank here in the battle.
Now arriving at
A lot of teams, I've seen a lot of double shield here so far in the multi-tier tournament. And I think if you're relying on that to keep your front line alive, then this could be an interesting wrinkle here as we get into week number 6. We are going to have Pluto Esports starting us off in the blue jerseys as we head to Lighthouse here for our opening round. Levitate in the red. And it's been an exciting tournament so far, an exciting week so far. We had an absolute killer match on Thursday. You can check that out there in my videos. Should be up on my YouTube here directly. And speaking of, I do have all of the multi-tier tournament. Every match that I have cast is up on my YouTube. Just look for Bullskunk. You can also follow me on Twitter. Get notified when I go live with all of these great matches. And speaking of great matches, gates are open, and this one has begun. It looks like we are going to get Pluto coming out with the Reinhardt Diva, pulling out the Doomfist May here to put the hurt down. We'll have Ana and Lucio to keep the team alive and standing. On the other side, Levitate bringing us a little Reinhardt, Zarya, Soldier, and May on the side of Levitate here, as it is going to be Pluto Esports picking up the objective first, or at least getting positional advantage. Hasn't quite unlocked yet. They're starting to get some capture percentage going on now, but here comes Levitate in to challenge. Doomfist going in. Oh, Doomfist takes out Tame Purse as Levitate tries to aggress onto the point. Crowsin picking up a kill onto the May. And it is indeed going to be Pluto coming up with first capture percentage. Mudkip's coming up with a nice boop off the side there to get things started. 10% and counting already on the board. And it looks like this Doomfist might pose a problem here. I'm not sure if the Soldier is going to be enough. You don't really have good LOS with that Soldier onto the objective. Oh, Infamous. Getting himself a little clever positioning up here, trying to take the flank and gets a punch off, but gets caught out as the rest of the team swarms up onto him. And Levitate coming through with an early advantage. And Lord Hammer looking to make a liar out of me, looking to prove me wrong as he's making his impact known on this battlefield, finding the kill onto the Ana. Primary source of healing gone, but there's still the sound barrier available. No, Mudkips goes down. Opts did not use that ultimate here in the second engagement, and this should be Levitate flipping this thing right back over. But not before Pluto's able to pick up 48% on the board. Oh, Mudkips did indeed invest that sound barrier late. That is unluckers. I think that's going to be one he's going to want back. As now they're going to run into Blizzard as well as Earthshatter, and they're not going to have that all-important ultimate, that super powerful defensive ability to help them survive the cold. Here's Pluto is looking to retake this point. Coming back in, they will have a couple of DPS ults coming online, but they're going to have to survive long enough to get them available. It is going to be a Lord Harambe coming up with 2 kills, open things up, finds both supports. Burden does throw that Blizzard in, coupled with the Meteor Strike that does clean house, despite the fact that they were missing both of those all-important support ults there. And we will get Pluto coming through with the flip. 53-38 on the board. But just Diva Bomb and Nano Boost to help defend. I think we got the Earthshatter coming out amidst that as well. Infamous get taken out in that process. Does flip over to a Genji here. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Nothing to really counter the Genjis, I suppose. And they do have the Ana with the Nano Boost. We'll see if he's got enough time to build up towards that blade. That Nano Boost does come out directly as Ray's Napalm is charged up. Looking to go in and put some hurt down. Oh, but the Earthshatter from the other side lays both tanks flat. Lord Harambe throwing in that Tac Visor as well. Able to pick up a couple kills. Diva Bomb in response as Pluto tries to hang on for as long as they can. Build up towards that 99 before Levitate can get this thing flipped over. It looks like they're going to get about 90, maybe 91%. And Levitate does indeed get control back, and good ult usage coming out as they use the Tac Visor, use that Earthshatter, but hold on to the Graviton Surge as well as the Amp Matrix. So good rotation on the ultimates, and that should allow them the ability to hold on here, as there's nothing available here for Pluto as they come back in to retake this thing. A little bit of an uphill battle. We'll see if they can overcome this ult deficit here on round 1 of Ilios. I do like this. Doomfist May composition does make for some strong retake capability. Oh, but not if the Doomfist goes down before they get a chance to even aggress on to the point. Oh, Lord Harambe does fall himself. Ray's Napalm chasing down that kill. Comes back with a good Earthshatter. Nice anti into the mix as well. Uncrossed throne. Didn't stand a chance. And Pluto storming right back onto this objective. Trying to put pressure down onto that Reinhardt. Mudcamp's coming up with 2 kills on the Lucio. And with 90-90 on the board, it is going to be Pluto Esports flipping this thing right back over. We'll see if Levitate can get back onto the point in time. We did have the Soldier hiding up on that high ground. He's going to try to sprint onto the point. He touches in just in time to get the overtime wick of burning, but he gets absolutely pounced upon by the entirety of Pluto Esports. Deadeye coming out as Frosty Dog gets swapped off the Meg one over to the McCree. But he gets taken out before he can pull the trigger. Okay, Panda coming through with a nice double boop. Sending the Reinhardt off the side alongside the Brazilian Lucio. But in the end, it does not look like it's going to be enough. Blizzard out. Overtime wick burns down. And Pluto Esports taking round 1 here on Ilios.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Bear with me a second, folks. Need to double check my pause button here. I could have swore it was set, but it does not seem to be functioning. I tried to do a pause test there in the beginning of that. Yes, indeed. You can see my pause is indeed set. Let's do another pause check here.
3, 2,
Nope.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Something is absolutely interfering there with my pause. Hopefully we are good to go here on this first round. As we're coming back out on Ruins, we're going to get Reinhardt Hawk coming out on the side of Levitate here with Reinhardt and Diva on the side of Pluto Esports as they're going to push in onto the far right side. It looks like an interesting bit of counterclockwise rotation as the main tanks seem to be kind of chasing the backlines around on both sides. Okay, Levitate is going to all converge into the small side room with Frosty Dog and Lord Harambe coming up with a couple kills each. Frosty Dog going over to that Ash here. I like that pick. A lot of range here on Ruins to work with. You can make good use of those sight lines. And we did have Pluto Esports coming up with first control, but that's not going to last long. Levitate is going to be able to take that thing back, and I'm going to go see if I can unbind something here. I'm guessing it's my melee that is interfering with this. That's unusual. That is not typical here. I apologize for the interruption in the action, but this is very important. I need to make sure this is good to go. Let's unbind my melee there. All right, that should do it. Now, we got Pluto Esports coming back in here with the Meteor Strike Diva Bomb coming online, not too far behind that. We do have the Amp Matrix here on the side of Levitate. As they're looking to hold on here, they're holding inside the pit. I'm not a big fan of this defensive posture, but they are going to throw that Amp Matrix up. As you can see, it did not provide a lot of value because it was relying on Pluto Esports to come down that tiny ramp, and they did not oblige them in that fact, and they're just going to throw the Diva Bomb in. That found one, and with great aggression, they push onto the point, clean that thing up, and flip this thing right back over. And I'm going to go ahead and get a pause test here. No, once again, unfortunately, it does not seem to be working. I will have to get that ironed out here. Meteor Strike still online. Earth Shatter here for Pluto Esports. But a whole host of it's coming online. In fact, 5 of the 6 will be available here for this next engagement. Frosty Dog taking down Infamous early. And that's a great start. They try to wall off the team on the side of Pluto, but Levitate not having any of it. They just muscle right past through it. Whole Hog coming out. Bob thrown into the mix as well as Levitate looks to come in and get this retake. Sound barrier there on the other side. Earth Shatters trade it out. And then everybody on the battlefield just lying around there for a moment. But it is Harambe with a nice tack visor. They did throw out their sound barrier as well. So they get this retake here on the side of Levitate. But man, was that an expensive fight for them. And now they're going up against a Nano Boost and a Meteor Strike on the other side. Of course, the Meteor Strike itself, not a giant threat, but it is going to allow Infamous Flare here to push in and get super aggressive into that back line as they come back in for this retake. 62-62 on the board. Ruins about as even as you can get, and there goes Infamous into the back. Throws a punch down onto the main line. Here comes the Meteor Strike. He's going to try to pounce down onto the main tank. He gets the Lucio in the process. Purse is super low, and he cannot survive. Hog, not long for this world either. And that will be Pluto coming back right in and taking this thing right back. Man, Ruins, an absolute back and forth here so far, as it seems neither team able to hold on the defense, and the aggression is going to be the name of the game here in today's match. Ray's coming up on an Earth-Shattered Diva Bomb online as well, as we get Frosty Dog going over to that Reaper, coming off of the May, perhaps looking for more of that up-close brawl potential, something to help deal with that Doomfist. He does spot said character on that far left side. Opts not to chase him down wisely because there were several members of Pluto there waiting for him. Otherwise, on the front line, it looks like the main tanks are battling out here on the far right side. Diva Bomb in the back. That forces the tank to turn around, and here comes the Earth Shatter from the other side. Nice combo coming through from Pluto Esports. But we do have the Immortality Field there. Pelican Rasta was ready for it. In the end, it is going to be the tanks winning the front line war. Sound barrier coming out from Pluto Esports as the overtime wick starts to burn. And they look to close out Elios and take an early 1-0 lead here in this opening series of our matchup today. Napalm coming up with 2 big picks on the end of it. Overtime wick's going to burn down, and map 1 will indeed go to Pluto Esports. I'll get to a joke here momentarily. Mike Knight, I really appreciate it. Much love, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. And how am I going to melee people? That is a good question there, Swaggity. Good question indeed. Good boop coming out from Katie Panda, or K-Panda, excuse me. But not enough for them to take the opening map here.
I thought I was out of this line of business, n'est-ce pas?
As it is going to be Pluto with the opening round. I'm going to take a quick 5, see if I can iron out this pause issue. Make sure my teams don't need any subs. And when I say 5, I mean like 5 seconds. It's going to be a quick break. Y'all stick around. We'll see you back here on Blizzard World. Don't go anywhere. Well, you missed my beautiful intros there. I haven't solo cast in a hot minute, friends. But importantly, thanks for the heads up there, chat. But I'm back here as we get into Blizzard World. Pluto taking to the defense. Reinhardt Diva Junkrat and May here for Pluto as they're going to go up to Griffin and try to hold this high ground. We got Reinhardt Diva coming through on the side of Levitate as well as they look to push in. Maywall dividing that Diva as well as the Reaper off. We are going to get Sparrow onto that Doomfist as he pounces up onto the high ground, drops down, gets the kill on a Project Cal. Lucio's traded out on both sides here. Nice anti onto the tank line of Levitate. It's going to force them to fall back a little bit. Frosty Dog just moves right onto the objective, picks up one before trading himself out. Going to be a 4v4 here left on the point. Contrail frozen up as they look to push in. Maywall to divide Sparrow from the rest of the team, and he gets deleted. As the Lucio's returning back into the battle here. Oh, and the Reinhardt's going for a swim. Apparently it was a little warm here, and they needed to cool off. The respawns will favor the attackers here if they can manage to get back in time, but I think this is going to call for a reset coming through from Levitate. Now they will be coming back in with an Earth Shatter as well as an Ant Matrix. Not much else to speak of. On the side of the defense, Blizzard online. And man, there couldn't be a better ultimate to have. They've also got that Diva Bomb with the big check mark next to it now as well. It looks like we're going to get a rotation around to the right side from the attacker's point of view. They look at Challenger's point. Nice. Fire Strike is going to take out the Lucio, but Blizzard coming in response. Earth Shatter to try to counter it back, deny that value. Crosin, though, throws a bomb into the mix. That finds one. Levitate trying to battle their way through this as it's just a massive back and forth here on the point. 3v2 favoring the attacking team if you count. Well, 2.5. Pilot Diva able to get back in that mech, go back up to a solid 3-man attack squad here as they make their presence onto the point, start to get some progress built up. We'll see if Pluto can come back in for a retake, though they do have quite a long trek to get back here. Lucio doing a good job of buying them some time in order to make that distance, in order to close the gap. Tyre coming out on the side of the defense. Oh, don't go right into the immortality field. No, he wisely waits for it to go down, picks off the Baptiste in the back line. No more immortality field left, and then Death Blossom thrown in here in response. And once again, a big old scrappy fight here on the point. And with the dust settling, it is Levitate coming up with the map point. And they'll get this car out of the garage here shortly.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Yeah, I was muted there for a minute. My bad. Skunk moments in chat. It happens, especially to me. All right, defense coming back in. Sound barrier on the ready. Diva Bomb also coming online. On the side of the offense, well, Diva Bomb, I believe, is available. I don't think that was just the pilot mech. No, indeed. Diva Bomb available as well as that Meteor Strike. Sparrow moving up to the high ground. Seeing what he can find here as we get the rotation coming through. Look at the defense. Pushing through on this aggressive posturing. I like it. They're going to go ahead and toss a bomb into the mix. Try to charge in. Bomb finds Panda. Good pickup. Pseudo coming through with a nice kill as well. Sparrow diving in. See if he can counterpunch back here quite literally. And Sound Barrier tossed in on the side of the defense, though, as they look to survive. That's going to force Sparrow just right up to the high ground and a reset coming through from Levitate. Crosin able to pick off the McCree here on the exit. Now, I'm not sure about the McCree pick here. I mean, of course, you do get some, some nice range poke, and you can challenge anybody trying to come in and attack your back line. But with the Junkrat May, I can't help but feel that the defense is looking to do more divide and conquer and kind of keep their distance. Not really much in the way of dive coming through. Could be just a comfort pick. We did get that tire coming out, but Sparrow able to pick that thing off. Nano boost onto Napalm, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Now free Earth Shatter comes through from the other side, finds 3 as Levitate looking to pursue that advantage, pursue that ultimate. Tampers just getting slightly delayed, but all the while, it is Pluto on the back foot trying to run back to spawn, wait for the reinforcements to come in, see if they can get a retake here on the back of Street Space. Early immortality field coming out. Earth Shatter coming out as well on the other side. I don't think he found much with the Shatter, but it didn't matter much. A Pseudo Wudo able to put so much hurt down. Nice anti-nade thrown into the mix as well. And it looks like the defense will get the Gong of Death. That one's for you, Billy. And they're going to plant their feet, buy themselves some time. Speaking of time, $1:30 on the clock here for Levitate to make something happen here on Blizzard World. Frosty Dog coming off that McCree, going over to the May as we going into a pseudo mirror comp. The only difference going to be the Ana to the Baptiste. And honestly, I like the Ana in this position. I mean, I'm a big fan of the anti-nade. So much value there. If you can make it happen, if the Ana can land the shots, land strong antis, I think they have the advantage here over the immortality field that the Baptiste provides. Also, that Amp Matrix, they're going to struggle, I think, to get a ton of value out of that. The only one who could really make use of it is the Junkrat, or perhaps using it for some additional healing. But it's not like you have the Orisa with the halt to pull him in front and throw the bullets through. All right, here we go. Engagement coming through. Nano boost onto the Reinhardt. Tyre goes to the backline and takes out the Ana. Devo Bomb coming through on the side of the defense, and that's going to pick out the Mei. Unable to build up any more towards that ultimate. A late sound barrier coming through, though, and I didn't see much need for that. I'm not sure what prompted the sound barrier. I think Project Cal may have panicked a bit there. And they may want that one back. Nevertheless, there's only 23 seconds for Levitate to get back here. I don't even know if they're going to get a solid fight. This is going to take a good concerted push, a nice amp speed onto the point. All right, it looks like they do have time to make it back. And they're coming back in with Earth Shatter and both support ults. They have the tools to make this happen, but they're running into Blizzard and Tyre. Let's see if Levitate can pull through and get that second point on the board here on Blizz. Speaking of Blizz, here comes the Blizzard on the side of the defense. Bomb coming out. Bomb finds 3! Contrail! Putting that thing exactly in the middle of the point. Raze had gone down. Sparrow picking off the Reinhardt before he's able to get that shield up, protect the rest of the team, and indeed with the overtime Wicker Burn. And it looks like Levitate will push this thing to its final resting place and make their way into the Cathedral. Pluto wasting no time putting pressure back on. They aren't falling back to a corner. Nah, they're just charging right back into this thing. That might have been a little ill-advised as the wall comes out, splits them off, but they get Blizzard out. Oh, you did not need Blizzard there. Reinhardt was 1 health. There was nobody else there. I think that's an ultimate you're going to want back here if you're Levitate. Nevertheless, they do still have Earthshatter online coming up on a Death Blossom. On the side of the defense, we'll get both tank ults online here for this next engagement. As the cart starts to push around the second corner here in the Cathedral on point C. We have the Reaper taking on the high ground. Oh, big anti coming through. That hit the Reaper's walls, both tanks. The Reaper able to Wraith form and cleanse. But here comes the bomb. Nice sleep combined with the bomb and the Earth Shatter. I don't even think you needed the Earth Shatter on that one, but it was there for good measure. And the defense with a fantastic ult combo. And a nice execution allows for a team wipe and a big hold. And once again, 20 seconds on the clock. Desperation time for Levitate here on their attack base for Blizzard World. Earthshatter in the pocket. Nothing really to speak of online. They will get the tire here on the side of the defense. All right, wall coming out. It's going to split the Reinhardt and the Mei from the rest of the pack. Immortality field there to keep them alive. Earthshatter comes out, but kind of a counter charge there. Not able to really follow up on it. And it's a giant mess on the objective. And that tire falls into the mess of people. Junkrat able to find 2. Make that 3 kills. Excal finds 1 as well. Excalibur, that is. And it does look like Pluto will hold on here on point C. 77 meters is all the attacking team is going to be able to pick up.
Score 0-2. Switching sides. Initiating match.
That was a great showing from Levitate on the attack. I liked the comp choices. I liked the swaps that they made. Very important in 2020 Overwatch to counterpick and make sure that your entire team has the tools they need for the focus of the team comp. And what I mean by that is if you're going to go in and brawl, you've got to have that close range pick potential. The Mei Reaper, I think, was an excellent choice there. You know, running into the Junkrat and the Mei, I didn't necessarily mind the Baptiste. I do still stand by that the Ana was a bit of an advantage there. But speaking of, coming back out on the defense, Levitate coming out with both the Baptiste and the Ana. We will get Junkrat Mei and Reinhardt Diva on both sides. Project Cal taking the Lucio here as Pluto Esports going on the attack. Hoping that point C hold is enough for them to take a 2-0 lead here in our Tier 2 matchup. Looks like Pluto's just going to path around through this far left side, going through Lost Vikings. Which is, by the way, a fantastic name for a Lost and Found. Nice Blizzard Wall coming up. May Wall, that is. Anti onto the pack as well. But they're able to break through with that one section of the May Wall, all that's needed for everybody to push through it these days. With that nerf we saw come through a little while back. Pluto able to survive the initial divide and conquer. Get everybody regrouped here behind Statue. They do have the May and the Diva up on the high ground. May and Diva on the side of Pluto going up to match. See if they can run them off. Ooh, an early ice block forced out. And a May Wall used defensively to try to protect the escape. Nice anti coming through on the side of Levitate to force back Pluto. Keep them in check here around this far left side of Staples. Now the Nano Boost coming out onto Race Napalm, and he's going to try to push in and make something happen. Blizzard Wall to try to divide the defense. Oh, nice kill onto Sparrow, who was holding that Riptire in his pocket. Not able to use that big ultimate. Similar fate fallen to Frosty Dog on the May. But they lose a Junkrat on the other side. DPS trading out here on the point. Diva had been demeched in that process as well. She's going to go ahead and get back in her battle suit there. But a soft reset coming through. Pluto kind of stalling out here, but I like the fact that they're maintaining their positioning here, not giving up any ground. Earth Shatter comes out. 4-man Shatter on the field. Can they follow through? Tire and Diva Bomb used to help fend off the ensuing pursuit, and that is going to provide several kills coming through. Sparrow able to fight a couple as well, but Pseudo does pick up 2 with the Tire. In the end, it is the defense of Levitate holding on here. Half the attack time whittled down. 2 minutes on the clock. Blizzard online here for the defense. We will have Blizzard, Sound Barrier, Nano Boost, and Diva Bomb, Self-Destruct online here for the attacking team. Trying to get used to saying Self-Destruct instead of Diva Bomb. That is a crutch and a slang term I don't really need to be using. We don't need any shortcuts here. Let's keep it official. Let's keep it official, friends. All right. Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt. Diva Bomb coming out on the side of the offense. They're going to push in. Blizzard thrown into the mix as well. This has been an expensive fight here for Pluto Esports. Let's hope for their sake that they can pull it out here in the end, and it does indeed look like they will find the goods, find point A. Though there is a little bit of time for a retake. We'll see if Levitate opts to push in and try to take this thing back. With those late kills, though, not looking likely. And I think that car is coming out of the garage. 3:37 on the clock here as Pluto Esports looks to push into Streets phase. All right, Sparrow taken into the high ground, getting on top of the AA gun. 98% to that Riptire. We've also got the Amplification Matrix online and ready to go here for the defense. Looking at Earth Shatter and Sound Barrier here for Pluto Esports as they look to push around this first bin. Ant Matrix coming out early to try to stall this thing out. May Wall doesn't stand a chance against all that damage. Ooh, the Wind Scar coming through and a ton of damage going down on the Napalm. And by Wind Scar, I mean that Fire Strike through the Ant Matrix, putting out so much damage. All right, here comes the Tire from Sparrow, looking to shut down the rest of this attack. Stolen out. Just kind of looking for a good target. It looks like he's found one. In fact, he's found 2. As the Junkrat and the Ana go down on the side of Pluto Esports. And without their primary healer, this is going to be a difficult endeavor to push in, but they're going to try to go for it nevertheless. Blizzard coming out as well as the Diva Bomb. A lot of ultimates being forced out on the side of the defense. So at the end of the day, if Pluto doesn't win the fight, they at least got 4 ultimates out of the defending team. Speaking of 4 ultimates, they will be coming back with 4 of their own. Both tank ults, Nano Boost, and, well, I mean, nearly 5. Junkrat Tire, Riptire online. We'll have Blizzard not far behind that. Pseudo going up to the high ground. Oh, look at this positioning. This could be deadly. Oh, and he even spots the Immortality Field early. Takes that. Hell, what a play! As he gets the Immortality Field just in time for the Diva Bomb to land and get a nice 3K. Wonderful positioning from both the Junkrat and the Bomb. Oh, man. And Pluto Esports cleanly taking that engagement, and they're going to get this payload rocket all the way through here. Plenty of time for a retake on the back of this point, though. Ult economy pretty much even here, although we do have the Blizzard and the Riptire online here for Pluto Esports. Just the Ant Matrix here on the side of the defense. Sparrow going in deep, trying to contest this thing, and he does manage to stop progress with just 1.46 meters left to go. Blizzard coming out on the attacking team, and Sparrow and the Reinhardt both caught in it. They don't stand a chance against that Blizzard. It is very cold for everybody here on the aptly named Blizzard world. It's just been cold as ice. Now Pluto Esports pushing in. Sound Barrier, both tank ultimates, and the Riptire online ready to go. But on the side of the defense, they've managed to get a Riptire. Blizzard coming online for them as well. Here comes the Amplification Matrix. Wall there to try to help fend off some of the damage. Self-destruct coming in from the attacking team. And that finds one, and then the ensuing spin around to the Reinhardt. The Earthshatter comes through. Gotta love that combination. We're seeing it time and time again here today. But the defense, they're not done yet. They're going to strike back with a Diva Bomb and a Riptire of their own. That combines 3 kills. Contrail moves in, picks up another Sparrow, finding himself another one as well. 5 kills. Make it 6 if you count the DMAT coming through from Contrail and Sparrow here on the side of Levitate. Not a moment too soon is that payload ever approaching that victory rectangle. And Pluto pretty much spent everything in their bank. They are going to have a Nano Boost online here shortly. I imagine that will come out onto the Reinhardt. We will have Nano Boost and Blizzard here online for the defense. 70 seconds on the clock. I think it's gonna take a big Diva eat, and she gets it! She does indeed eat the Blizzard, and that's exactly what Pluto was looking for here. Nano Boost comes out onto the Reinhardt, but here comes the Earthshatter from the other side. Nano Boost, well, I don't exactly see where Panda's Nano Boost had gone. Frosty Dog, antied, low, finds the healing. Pseudo-Wudo, Pseudo-Wudo comes in with a pick with the mines, follows through with a beautiful Riptire to take out the Reinhardt, take out the Mei, and that will do it. Pluto Esports pushing this thing home, taking a 2-0 lead here in this matchup. Man, both of these Tier 2 teams showing off why they deserve to move on into the postseason. We'll see if Levitate can start their reverse sweep when we head to Volskaya. We'll see it back here in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. All right, just a little reminder here. We do have Orisa, Echo, Tracer, and Moira banned out here in week 6 of the multi-tier tournament. And we had that interesting announcement coming through yesterday that hero pools will get removed for tiers, well, what would be up into Masters. So that would be tiers 1 to 3 here in the multi-tier tournament. Now, I was still waiting on an announcement from CGL as to how that is going to affect this tournament in the future. But as it stands, week 7 bans, well, we're not going to see, what was that? I believe it's Wrecking Ball McCree, Widowmaker, and Mercy. Didn't have it in my notes, but I believe that's correct. We'll see how that plays out. I think this is an interesting choice. I like the fact that they're being aggressive with trying new things to shake up the game of Overwatch, but I do believe the hero bans was a bit of a failed experiment. Now, with that said, I mean, I can't help but wonder, maybe if we did every 2 weeks, it could give teams a little bit more time to adapt, maybe even a month. Get the meta set and established for a month, give teams time to really perfect it and try a couple of different strategies within that meta, especially with Echo coming out. Always throws a big wrinkle into the entire meta across Overwatch anytime you introduce a new hero, as teams look to try to utilize and best find value out of new heroes, and more importantly, how to counter them.
Ready for battle.
With that said, ready ups are there. Both teams heading in. as we get into snowy Volskaya. It's been a the map of snow here today as we're coming off of Blizzard Winter into Mother Russia. We do have Levitate coming out on the defense here to start us off, as we did get the side swaps. Levitate now in the blue jerseys. And it looks like they're bringing us some Reinhardt Sigma here on the side of the defense. A little Soldier Ash. Try to put some hurt down. You got a lot of range to work with here. I imagine we'll see them up on the high ground. You can see the Soldier kind of jumping down now. Where's the Ash? Where are you at? Oh! Sparrow getting aggressive. Throwing that TNT in, looking for some early ult charge. Does build up 11. Make that 14 when all is said and done. On the side of the attacking team, coming in with Doomfist and the Sombra, as they're pushing around through the garage. Looking to get very aggressive here with the Reinhardt D.Va front line. Path into the left side of the primary box here on the front of the objective. You can see front line already built up about 45, 30% respectively. Raze Napalm doing work here on the Reinhardt as they're getting super aggressive on the side of Pluto Esports. Pushing in, looking to make things happen. You got to look for those big plays. I like their aggression. You don't want to just stand around and be passive here with this comp. You've got to push in and get work done. But they do lose that Doomfist early in the fight. Raze is going to fall as well. And that's going to be a quick reset coming through from Pluto Esports. Nice first hold coming out of Levitate. Defense did manage to build up. Almost got a Bob online. Almost have Earthshatter online and ready to go as well. Not far behind that as well. Pretty much everything else in the bank. On the side of the attackers, we do have Turtle King going over to that Junkrat coming off the Doomfist. Looking to put a little more shield break in. Got to be careful, though, with the pick comp, excuse me, the pick DPS there on the opposite side. He's going to have to maintain smart positioning to ensure he doesn't become an early victim here to the Soldier Ash. He's going to make his way onto the high ground here. Turtle King just laying down the spam damage. Napalm does now have that Earthshatter online, and a good rotation as they circle around. Make sure to clean the Soldier Ash off the high ground. Oh, Soldier trying to run up the stairs. That was a bold move, my friend. I think you were lucky to escape out of that with what health you had. Ant Matrix coming out on the side of the defense here as Levitate trying to keep Pluto in check. They're up on the high ground. Whoop, and here comes the D.Va Bomb, and that's going to prompt the attack. Lord Harambe picking off the Junkrat here before they're able to move in. Soundbarrier coming out on the side of Pluto, as well as a nice Earth Shatter. That's going to devalue that nano boost that was thrown onto the Reinhardt. A late Earth Shatter coming through from Napalm, and he doesn't even survive the subsequent charge. And now the stagger coming through onto the baby D.Va, who actually manages to pick off Sparrow. Oh, wow. When trying to stall out your pilot, D.Va, make sure you don't fall to the Bunny Blaster. As now we do have an advantage available here for the attacking team if they can strike swiftly. We are going to get the Lucio going back to Kite. And here comes Pluto on the assault. And they do indeed have the advantage. Can they push in? Look at this. There's only 3 members of the defense left standing. EMP online and ready to go. Here comes that EMP, and that's going to find 4 members, and even gets the Baptiste, who is sitting up on the high ground. Oh, and the tire comes through from Pluto as well. But the defense striking back. Tac Visor used in the process. Sparrow finding himself some kills as well. And despite what was looking to be a shaky defense, they do manage to pull through and fend off this assault. And now there's only 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds.
What a beautiful, beautiful defense coming through. And what looked to be a clean advantage here for Pluto Esports. Now Timmy hiding in the back. D.Va Bomb online and ready to go. Here it comes right on to the point, but the shield is there. That's not going to find much. In fact, the Lucio back there pursuing him, trying to keep him from getting back in his net. Not able to find it. Turtle King has swapped over to the Genji, trying to get a little bit more in their face. Caused some disruption, but Contra with a big Gravitic Flux, able to slam down the attacking team, and this is looking to be a full hold coming through from Levitate. Bob on to the point, the 7th man cleaning up, and indeed, what a bounce back as Levitate with a phenomenal start here to Volskaya, and great hopes here for that reverse sweep.
Score 0-0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Very clean defense there on the side of Levitate. Big heads up play coming out of that Lucio, making sure they can go back and kite. Members going up onto the high ground just to get there a little bit quicker, make sure that their impact is valuable there on the defense. And that looked hairy. There was definitely a big opportunity for Pluto to push in and steal that point away. Levitate having none of it. And now they're going on the offense, hoping that big hold is enough. They've got to take this. A draw will mean death, will mean a big loss here for Levitate. And they only want that L as their logo. They don't want it in the column here. Pluto bringing us a little Reinhardt diva on the side of the defense. Junkrat McCree putting the hurt down. Anna and Lucio keep the team alive and standing. On the side of the attacking team, Levitate coming out with some Soldier May. Contrail sticking with that Sigma. Yeah, he did a great job with the Sigma. That big gravitic flux, large part of why they were able to put up that fantastic hold. So I like him sticking with this composition here. I think the Immortality field could be quite valuable as well, as you have the two big bang ultimates of the self-destruct as well as that Riptire. It is going to be Mudkips coming up with the first kill here. And I think that is going to slow things down here for the attacking team. They're going to go ahead and wait for Red Runner to get back into the battle here. All right, back at full 6-man strength. Levitate going back on the assault here. Rock comes through. Squeezes it between Napalm's shielding. But the heal nade there. Able to keep the Reinhardt alive. He's at full strength, maintaining that front line. Getting a little bit of a pause as Levitate's waiting for those cooldowns to come back. Timmy's going to take advantage, try to push up into the high ground, see if he can build up a little bit more towards that self-destruct. Wall and charge coming through. Does not quite find its mark. And now we're getting the M-Matrix here on the side of the attacking team. Nano boost on the side of the defense as Napalm trying to defend against the onslaught of damage coming in. Does have that Earth Shatter online and ready to go, but there's a Diva in the backline. Okay. Trying to poke down. He's going to try to charge back out as that small room is just going to spell death. Sound Barrier coming out on the side of the defense. Here comes the Gravitic Flux. Knowing that Sound Barrier is used, Flux comes out. Tank first able to take down Napalm. That should make for a clean, easy Earth Shatter as they look to push through. Diva Bomb was thrown into the back, but it found nothing. And here comes the progress. Oh, the Riptire there to try to counter back, but the Blizzard is there. And there's just like nobody left on point. It's just a lone soldier here capping. I don't believe it. Harambe trying to be the hero here for his team. Can Napalm make it back in time? No! Harambe, the lone legs on point, giving Levitate a map win and the chance to bounce back here in this series. What a crazy fight. Levitate able to pull through in the end. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, this is just an absolute cage match here. Both teams, no hold barred, coming in. Nobody wants the loss here today. It is absolutely apparent. Both teams trying to fight this thing out as hard as they can. You gotta love the heart. We'll see you back here on Dorado. See if Levitate can continue the reverse sweep when we return. Well, welcome back, my friends. We're headed into map 4. Levitate able to put up a great hold there on Volskaya Industries. Give themselves an opportunity to bounce right back into this thing. As we get into Dorado, we do have a ton of subs coming in once again. As we're going to get Turtle and Infamous going back out as Excalibur and Pseudo Wudo coming back in the DPS role there for Pluto. We're also going to have Cal coming in from Mudkips, but back in the support role. And that was, man, what a great hold. Good signs of life coming from Levitate there. Just chaotic engagement, but once the dust settled, they emerged with the lone man left standing on the point. There's something you don't see every day. But in the end, they are able to get that that first tick, get that map point on the board, get rid of that goose egg, sending us into Dorado with hopes of that reverse sweep. We'll see if it'll come to fruition here. Do stick around. I will have a Tier 3 matchup coming at you directly after this. 2 4-1 teams going head-to-head, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, battling for supremacy in that incredibly close and competitive Tier 3 division. That one will be starting there at 9 Eastern. I will have Zach Hamwell joining me in the booth for that one. So the Yep-Yeps will get benched. Although I have enjoyed them as color casters. They're not as vocal as most of the people I work with, but, they're very, well, they're yes men. What can I say? We got a player go AFK, so we're just waiting for some readies here. In the intro, we could take a moment to talk about some of the patch notes that have come through, went live earlier this week, as CC across the board got a massive nerf, where the Brig Stun no longer, it got reduced in time, Blizzard's duration reduced in time, the freeze coming out from May from a primary fire also isn't stunned for as long. Earth Shatter, you lose a half second on that. That one's big. Well, both that and the May are really big because of the Earth Shatter. That's a full swing, and that swing, I mean, you really feel it. It doesn't, a half second doesn't seem like a whole lot on paper, but it denies a full 75 damage coming through from those Reinhardt swings. Also with the May, her primary freeze, you don't have enough time for that second shot, where before the patch you had time to get 2 icicles off before they defrosted. Now you only get the 1, so you better make that shot count. Similar thing for McCree's stun. The flashbang got a smaller duration, so you've got to be pinpoint and fast as could be. Make sure your Twitch is on when you get those flashbangs out. Another couple interesting changes. We had a change coming from Sigma's Rock, which you get that out faster. It makes for a much more of a close range. It's got, it got buffed at close range, but kind of nerfed at long range. Whereas before you would get a longer stun out of the rock if you hit him at range. Now it is a set 0.8 second stun, no matter the distance that you connect with the accretion rock. But it does come out a 1/10 of a second faster. And again, doesn't look like a whole lot on paper, but in the up close, CQB battles, especially if you've got a Doomfist in your face, you've got a Genji in your face, that extra 1/10 of a second makes all the difference in whether you get that rock out or they can dash out of the way, get a punch in your face, and stun you out of it. So big changes there. Another notable change is to Roadhog's ultimate. So Whole Hog now added even more knockback. They added some knockback to it a couple months back. Now adding a 20% more knockback on top of what it used to have. And Reinhardt, of course, losing some of his steadfast percentage, originally 30%, buffed up to 50%, and then now reverted back to that 30%. And again, noticeable feel in the way that you can play Reinhardt and the risks that you can take with our big German tank. All right, looks like all of our players are ready to go. Let's head into map 4, my friends.
Traveling to Dorado.
Heading to Dorado. I expect we'll see more of the Reinhardt Diva here. Neither team looking to opt for the dive. So it does, I suspect they'll utilize the Diva to try to control the high ground, especially on point B. But hey, we'll see what they come out with. Maybe they decide to go with the dive after all. We love some good dives. It's just so fun to watch. It's just so fun to watch.
Attackers incoming in
We did get the side swap coming back through. Pluto will be going back on the defense here as we head into beautiful Mexico. Looks like in that vein, they will be bringing us the Reinhardt Diva as anticipated. Junkrat May putting the hurt down. Ana and Lucio in the support department. On the side of the offense, Levitate coming out with the Reinhardt Diva as well, but putting Lord Harambe on that Widowmaker. See if we can get some early picks. She's going to go ahead and grapple up to the high ground here. As you can see, Pluto just sitting up there. They've got that Junkrat to put some spam damage down. Just trying to build up some ult charge. See how much they can keep Levitate in check here as they push around the first corner here. I guess this is actually the second corner. Moving into the point A archway. They try to make their way up to statue. Nice rotation coming through as anticipated. Otherwise, you give up just way too much ground here on the defense. And this is such a dangerous spot for that May. Levitate has to be aware they've got to do something to bait out that wall and not get split off from the rest of their team. Do go down a man early, but not dissuaded. They continue their conservative push here, just kind of using Cart for some cover. Trying to buy as much ground as they can. See if they can open up some space here around statue. We do get the May wall coming out, dividing the front line from the back. Counter charge through, but Burton just sitting there with the multi-freeze, making life difficult there for both tanks. They do escape with their lives. The healers coming through. Look at Ana already with a nano boost online, just putting in work back there. Pseudo Widow goes down, but Crow's Sin trades out 5v5 here on the objective. Oh, Purse is frozen stiff. Gets slept. Oh, the nano boost coming through to save him. The anti not quite there to deny the healing coming through, and now he pushes through. Big double K coming through from Tame Purse on the Reinhardt as he's built up that Earth Shatter, chasing out the rest of the defense. And it looks like Levitate will get a quick point A captured here. Nice exit kill coming through on the Crow's Sin as they look to push into Streets phase. Lord Harambe with a nice pick there to start things off. And look at all the ultimates online here for Levitate. They are going to be running into Sound Barrier and a couple DPS ults on the other side. The one that stands out to me is the Earth Shatter, just showing how much work that front line can put in. And that is very indicative, I think, of how much pressure is being put down. Reinhardt not feeling like he has to just stand there and hard shield, not having to play super passive. He's able to go in there swinging and build up that Earth Shatter. We had Infra Sights coming out, rather. And that did force the defense of Pluto to kind of back around the corner, just avoiding that LOS. Buying some space here for Levitate to work. Contro going into the backline, tosses a Diva Bomb. In fact, hits Crow's Sin right in the face. Oh, with the Earth Shatter Diva Bomb combo, they find 2 kills, but Pseudo Widow answers right back with a nice Riptire. Finds a pair of his own. Sound Barrier tossed into the mix here from Pluto as well. And it looked like that will be the ticket, despite the great tank combination coming out on the side of Levitate. It is the defense who emerge victorious. Back to spawn goes Levitate. And back to the drawing board. Does not look like we're getting much compositional swaps just yet. Harambe is going to go ahead and stay on the Widowmaker. Sparrow with a Deadeye online and ready to go. They'll have Nano Boost not too far behind that, but that is going to be it. And they're running into Blizzard, Earth Shatter, and a Nano on the other side. This could be a very difficult push for Levitate. I think the goal here is to see if they can eat that Blizzard. You can see the defense matrix just trained on Excalibur in there, trying to predict it. They know it's ready. They have to know that thing is available. Oh, and Contro goes in chasing it down, but just gets frozen stiff. Demeched, and now could be an easy Blizzard coming through. Meanwhile, on the front line, we had the nano boosted Reinhardt charging in, trying to make something happen, but does eventually pay for his aggression. Nevertheless, the defense able to hold strong, thanks to some great DPS play coming out from Excalibur and Pseudo Widow here, who have managed to build up to both of their ultimates respectively. Burden able to hold on to that all-important Blizzard through that engagement. On the side of the attacking team, they have managed to build up to another Earth Shatter. Nano Boost also available, as well as that aforementioned Deadeye. Looking for an opening here to use that Shatter. Ooh, Lord Harambe able to move up to the high ground and find a pick. Now here comes the Blizzard from the other side. Tire coupled in with it as well. 2 kills coming through on the side of the defense. That's going to allow them to put the aggression down. Contrail trying to counterpunch back for his team. Just flying in. Good ante onto the pack as well, but Contrail down to as low as 41 health. Able to use those boosters to escape to safety. Meanwhile, Caliburton and Red Runner trading out, and I think that's a little bit of a disastrous result here. You take that trade, I think, if you're the defensive team. But nevertheless, they're going to try to push in. Sans Ana get a double kill with the self-destruct. And Harambe, who is circled all the way around through Bank, able to pick up 2 kills with Helix Rockets. Man, great showing coming out of Harambe on this 76 here on Dorado. And now look at this. He's going to be able to push up to the high ground, tack visor in his pocket, ready to go. They do have a sound barrier on the other side, and Crow's Sin gets debacked and deleted early. That could spell disaster. I'm not sure where Harambe was running off to, but meanwhile on the front line, Ice Block coming out, trying to hold this thing off. Earth Shatter in the mix as well. Both supports down on the side of the attacking team as they're able to follow up on that. And actually, I believe that was on the side of the defending team. Project Cal going down with the sound barrier in his pocket. And that's going to be 2 points on the board here for Levitate. Really making a strong showing here on Dorado. Promising look to send us to a map 5. All right, D.Va taking the high ground posture. You can see Harambe up on the catwalk over here. And I really like the approach that Levitate is taking. They're keeping the McCree with the front line to help fend off anybody trying to come pressure them down. Speaking of pressure him down, here comes the nano boost onto Napalm as he tries to push in. He's taken a ton of damage already despite the damage reduction coming through from that ultimate. Harambe is the one coming up with a pick, though, and a counter nano boost onto the Reinhardt from the other side. Earth Shatter in the pocket of Tame Purse here. As that shield is breaking on the other side, will this be the opportunity for the Shatter? You can see all the fire coming in from the Soldier as they look to break that shield. Not quite shattering it, though, which means the opening is not quite there. Ooh, okay, the D.Va Bomb Earth Shatter combo coming through. That will yield them a couple kills. Logomorphic going down back to spawn, but here comes the Earth Shatter the other way. Oh, sound barrier there. Panda with a great play. Able to ride the walls, avoid the Earth Shatter, just staying off the ground long enough. Gets that sound barrier down, denying any follow-up to that ultimate. Now, we are going to have the tire coming out from the other side. Sees nothing but a D.Va initially. Now he sees a Mei. Is the Mei going to be the target? No! He does get a little bit of damage onto the D.Va. Heal made there. Sleep dart onto her, though, and now she's antied with such little health. Somehow the shielding coming through, and they're able to keep her alive, at least for the meantime. Now attack fires are coming through from Harambe. Able to pick off 2, drops down, gets the 3rd kill on Excalibur. Panda able to find a kill as well. The Reinhardt antied, low on life. Can he survive? No, he cannot survive. The recent Reaper swap coming out of Sudowoodo, not enough to fend off this assault. Despite the fact that their reinforcements are dwindling, Levitate in a good spot to pick up the 3rd point. Is the contest going to come through? Contest gets there with just half a meter left to go. And 1 second on the clock. This attack getting as close as could possibly get. Both teams returning to the battle. Napalm with the Earth Shatter online. Nothing here for the attacking team. Can they overcome this deficit? It looks like they've got 2 early kills, but a 3-man Earth Shatter on the other side. Nevertheless, despite the Earth Shatter, Napalm goes down, and it is 3 points on the board here for Levitate. But 0 time left in that time bank.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Man, we are seeing new signs of life out of Levitate here. Looking much stronger on the back half of tonight's series than we saw in the front half. Though, I mean, I must reiterate that, I mean, despite losing 2-0 on Ilios, both of those rounds were super close. And I think similar thing could be said there for Blizzard World. But I like the Soldier pick out of Harambe, putting in lots of work. Good use of ultimates as well. Could be a little bit better on the rotation, but the combos are there. And I like they have a set strategy. You can see they have a set plan. they're waiting for the Diva Bomb before they dropped the Earth Shatter, despite the fact that it looked like there were a couple of good opportunities. They wanted to ensure they had the follow-up. They wanted to ensure that they had as big an opportunity as possible, as big a percentage as possible for getting value. And that is exactly what you need if you want to send this thing to a map 5. Now they're going on the defense, hoping that push is enough to take us to Nepal. In that vein, Sparrow coming out on the Ash. Harambe sticking with the soldiers. They take to the high ground here on the side of Levitate. Pluto coming out with the Reinhardt Diva as expected, with Junkrat and Sombra coming out of Pseudo Ludo. Pseudo up on the high ground, opening up, trying to get the hack. The hack doesn't climb off. Quite doesn't get what it's looking for. But nevertheless, they do get the DMAC. In fact, that was actually the defense picking up the DMAC there. Forgive me. Oh, Sparrow! Sparrow, my friend! Landing shots true with that Viper. 3 kills coming through. And that is how you hold. Levitate really finding their stride and pushing this defense all the way up to the door. Oh, Sparrow once again down to as low as 8 health, but does eventually find the kill on a Pseudo Widow, narrowly edging out that duel. And now 90% to Bob, threatening to be our first ultimate online here. Pseudo Widow going down 75% to EMP, and that could have been the ticket that Pluto was looking for here to open up this first point. Bob coming onto the field, but Purse is down. So without their main tank, this hold could be increasingly difficult. But Harambe bouncing back. The DPS duo. Sparrow finding a headshot on a Crow Sin as well. And that is going to give them man advantage. Falls up with a nice kill onto Napalm. I believe that's 5 kills already. Perhaps 6 here for Sparrow in the opening 2 minutes of Pluto's attack round. Attack Visor. Self-destruct online here for the defense. We're going to have Earth Shatter, Nano Boost, and that all-important EMP here for Pluto. Pseudo in the back, looking for it, is detected. Forced to press Y. Y comes out. That finds 5 people. Tamepurse was napping on the job there. Gets charged, deleted. Raised Napalm. Coming up with some big picks as the Nano Boost was used. Help find those kills. Help secure those final blows. Deal Bomb thrown in from Contrail. But that was a desperation move, I do believe. And now Pluto Esports able to push that cart through the first archway and continuing this pressure all the way to the back of point A. Caliburn has gone over to the Reaper here, coming in 90% towards that Death Blossom. Putting a lot of hurt down on the Purse, but the sound barrier's there. Amplification Matrix used on the side of the defense. We did have the sound barrier coming out on the side of the offense as well. Ton of shielding for both teams. Napalm goes down, and Purse just getting a super aggressive. In fact, all of Levitate getting very aggressive here as they pick off Logomorphic. And what a great retake. Decisive and efficient. Levitate looking to hold on here as there's just 43 seconds on the clock. One last good push here for Pluto Esports. You try to make something happen here on Dorado. Oh, and Crow Sin getting DMAC'd early. That's disastrous here. Excalibur and Harambe dueling it out on the high ground. Harambe wisely backing out of that fight. He's saying, nah, fam. I ain't fighting you close range there, Reaper. Let's go fight on my terms. And indeed they do, and he wins the duel. Taking out that Reaper who was holding that Death Blossom, which would have been the perfect follow-up to that nice Earth Shatter. But as it stands, the defense able to come through with 2 good kills. Harambe, 3 of the 4 kills here for the defense, and as the time dwindles down, Levitate have done it. We are headed to Nepal, my friend, barring a giant 6-man Death Blossom here on the point. Oh, no! He didn't even get out the first die before he is sent back to spawn. Diva Bomb tossed out in a desperation effort. That does find 2, but the Diva Bomb from the other side fighting a pair as well. Now it is just the Korean mech. In fact, it's just the tanks left on point here for Levitate, or here for Pluto Esports. As Levitate looking to close this thing out. The D-Mech coming through. Deleted goes the pilot Diva. We do have Excalibur coming back in on the Reaper. In fact, kills just not focusing down fast enough. Here comes the sound barrier to try to help the defense close this thing out. What looked to be an easy W. Okay. Got a little dicey, but in the end, Levitate able to pull through. We're headed to Nepal, my friends. We're headed to Nepal.
Play of the game.
Harambe, big plays on that map to help his team tie this thing up. Can they complete the reverse sweep? We'll find out when we return in just a few moments. Welcome back, my friends, to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. This Tier 2 matchup headed to a Map 5 as it all comes down to Nepal. Pluto Esports starting off strong, taking a 2-map lead early, but Levitate putting up a fantastic hold on Volskaya, and then yet another point A hold on Dorado to goose egg Pluto Esports in both of those 2 maps, and we're headed to the tiebreaker. We are not going to waste any time. We're just going to head right into this thing and get this thing going. We'll see if Levitate can continue this momentum, as they are, at least by standings, the underdogs here in this fight. Pluto 4-1 coming into week 6, Levitate 3-2. Both teams looking to keep their playoff hopes alive, as the Tier 2 scene is extremely tight, very competitive there at the top of the ladder. And we are down into the dwindling weeks here of this tournament.
Ready for battle.
We will start off on Sanctum. Looks like Levitate bringing us a little Roadhog and Reinhardt. Keeping with the R tanks here. Of course, that Roadhog able to utilize that hook, put some people in the pick. Looks like they're going to come out with Harambe sticking with the Soldier 76, aka Legs.
4,
Sparrow going over to the Cowboy McCree.
1.
On the other side, we're getting the Reinhardt Diva coming out from Pluto. May and Junkrat do the damage. We'll be keeping an eye on these DPS to see if it's going to be the close-range battle that wins the day, or if the poke is going to allow Levitate to complete the reverse sweep. It is going to be Lago and Sudowoodo coming up with first blood. Crow's Sin taking out the Reinhardt, and a very swift capture here to start things off on Sanctum. Looks like, to answer my initial question, the May up-close personal dueling, the Brawl comp, so far looking very strong, and now this is where it's going to look even more deadly, as they can wall off this front entrance and try to keep Levitate in check. Harambe sweeping around through the outside, does run into the Junkrat trap, but Junkrat whittled him down super low. He does get that kill. Meanwhile, on the front line, Napalm winning the Reinhardt war. So, despite the early pick, the tanks are going to have a really tough time pushing through the front door here. Nevertheless, Contrail taking up the mantle of main tank here momentarily as they try to create some space here through the first mega room. He is knocked down super low. Immortality field just in time to keep him alive as he's able to find some heals, and Lord Harambe striking back. Takes down Crow's Sin. Purse picking up a pair of kills as well, and Harambe once again winning the duel over Sudowoodo, and Levitate should get this thing flipped right back over. Oh, Excalibur tried to ice block on the point for some stall, gets booped in the air, and just becomes a pile of ice cubes at the bottom of the pit. Now Excalibur will be coming back with Blizzard Online. We're going to have both DPS ults coming up on both tank ults. In fact, coming up on a full 6-pack of ultimates here for Levitate as they look to hold off this assault. All right. Pluto's circling all the way around back. I thought for a moment they were going to drop in through the small room, but no, I mean, they're just going to continue to circle. Just taking a scenic route trip here through Sanctum. All the meanwhile, percentage building up, not to mention the ultimates here. Oh, Sudowoodo Takes out both supports with just one pull of the trigger. Now the Nano Boost coming on to Napalm as they just absolutely smash this defense and claim Sanctum right back for their own. And they didn't even have to use but one ultimate to do it. Just the Nano Boost spent here to get that retake. 60 to 51 on the board. Super close here on Sanctum. And oh my goodness, look at all the check marks at the top of the screen. We'll see who's able to strike first, who's going to get the most value, as this is going to be an extravaganza here on Sanctum. We get High Noon coupled with the Gravitic Flux coming through from the back. That's going to yield at least one kill. Sound Barrier spit on the side of Levitate as well, but both healers down on the side of Pluto. Pluto throwing an errant Blizzard into the mix. No dice there, as Levitate flips this point right back over. Coming through with a nice team wipe. But man, they spent 4 ultimates to make it happen. Good news for them. About the same online here for the other team. Pluto coming back in with both DPS ults, but nothing much else to speak of. All right, Levitate kind of trying to surround him here, but you can see the main line was main tank line was sitting on the left side with the DPS trying to poke from the opposite. Harambe able to pick up Sudowoodo once again. He's just targeting that Junkrat, not allowing Sudowoodo any space to work or any time to build up towards that Riptire. That does force a bit of a rotation out here as we are approaching final fight territory. 82% here for Pluto. If they take it, Levitate might be able to come back for a retake. I'm not even sure if they're going to need it. We get the Earthshatter coming through. We have the Nano Boost down onto Raze to keep him alive through the process, and a bit of trades coming through. Junkrat able to pick off the Sigma there. Project Cal coming through with 2 important kills. And it will indeed be Pluto Esports flipping this thing right back over. And this is absolutely final fight. No ultimates. Well, I take that back. We'll have Sound Barrier here for the defense. Harambe with the Tac Visor online as he immediately pushes the point to ensure that they can get this overtime wicked burning. But I'm worried he doesn't have enough reinforcements, at least not initially. Tac Visor used Sound Barrier in response. Both ultimates coming out early from both teams. Napalm coming up with 2 big picks. Sudowoodo finds himself 1. Napalm comes up with 3 kills on this Reinhardt in the Twilight Hour, making a big 4K there for the German. Won't even have to use the Earthshatter, and the opening round of Nepal will go to Pluto Esports. The slow-mo finish there, I think, just very indicative of that entire round. As I love the aggression from Levitate, and they were oh so close. Pluto able to shut it down in the twilight moments. And it does seem like these teams are just so evenly matched. Great ult usage coming from both sides. I think Levitate did overinvest a little bit on that second to last engagement. And if they hadn't done so, they might have had a little bit more economy to work with there in that final fight. Nevertheless, now they're looking to have to make the comeback in more ways than one. Not only have they struck back in the map screen, now they're going to have to strike back in rounds here on Nepal if they want to complete their reverse sweep. A little bit of, it looks to be a fat finger coming through as the Immortality Field used early, and that could be disastrous. Lord Harambe going down on this McCree. They do trade out as they find Raze Napalm, but now Panda and the Reinhardt for Levitate are going to fall, and this will be Pluto Esports coming up with first control, but not without some casualties of their own. The May they're trying to stall things out for as long as possible, but back to spawn she goes. Here comes the capture percentage coming through here for Pluto. Quick and decisive fight there to open things up means that not a whole lot of ultimates yet online. Sparrow close to a Blizzard there for Levitate as they look to push back in. Riptire, Diva Bomb not far behind here on the side of Pluto Esports. All right, Levitate path through the high ground, and we're just going to go the battle breaking out up here. Oh, and 3 quick picks. Fire Strike does a ton of damage. Red Runner able to follow up on it with a great anti-nade. And half the team down for Pluto before they even really get a chance to start. Man, and yet again, the back and forth continues here at our Tier 2 matchup. Levitate taking this thing right back, getting some percentage built as they now have Blizzard and Earthshatter online. Riptire is available here for Pluto Esports as they're looking to come back in for this retake. Oh, and look at Sudowoodo taking this flank angle as he sits on high, just looking for the right opportunity to let it rip. And there goes the tire right into the pack. But Immortality Field there. Great use coming from Katie Panda. As this team survives the initial ultimate, now we're going to get the Amplification Matrix coming out, but we add the Earthshatter from the other side. Matter of fact, that was actually both ultimates there on both for Levitate. Nevertheless, Pluto Esports able to muscle through, find the goods, get this thing flipped right back over. 41-41 on the clock. Folks, it doesn't get any closer than this. Sudowoodo throwing a little trap up there and make sure to check the high ground entrance. Meanwhile, the rest of the team looks like they're just going to hang out down low. Indeed, it is going to be Levitate coming through from the high ground. Harambe clearing out that trap for the rest of the team. Way to take one for the team there, Harambe. All right, the Southern gentleman pushing up to the high ground, looking to take a bit of a flank angle here. Meanwhile, the front line just pushing right on in. Big charge coming through. Tame Purse down low, and he cannot survive. Tame Purse goes down. Harambe drops as well. Sudowoodo coming up with a big pick. Blizzard used late. They may want that ultimate back, but they do maintain control, and we'll have one last opportunity for Levitate to make something happen here. Less they go down and fall 3-3 in the standings. Oh, you hate to see a team get so close to completing the reverse sweep only to fall in map 5, but that looks to be exactly the story here on Nepal. Sudowoodo coming up with an opening tire that finds 2. Graviton Surge used to try to counter back from Levitate isn't going to be enough as the follow-up there. They do pick up 2 kills, but the Earthshatter thrown in the mix as well. Not enough, and it will be Pluto Esports emerging victorious in the end, moving to 5-1. And keeping that playoff push alive. Levitate looking so strong, made a real fight of it. In the end, not enough to take it home. And it is Pluto Esports coming through with a 3-2 victory here today.
Double, triple, quadruple kill, quintuple kill.
What a match. What a match. An absolute back and forth, just total slugfest. Man, this thing went the distance, went all 12 rounds to keep with my boxing metaphor. Haymakers thrown from both sides, both teams bruised and bloody. Pluto stumbling, looked like they might go down, but in the end, they're able to stay on their feet and get the knockout here today. They're going to claim the victory 3-2. And with so many subs in and out, man, it looked like we had just two rosters on both sides coming in. It's tough to pick out one player of the match, but I believe I am going to give it to Raise Napalm here on the main tank. Playing a killer Reinhardt today, and with such a tight battle, it comes down to, at least in my opinion, now the fact that I'm a Reinhardt player, notwithstanding, no bias at all, but I think that main tank performance is crucial, and just narrowly being able to edge out who gets the W, who's able to get those retakes, who's able to maintain control. And despite looking a little shaky here today on maps 3 and 4, I am going to give your player of the match here to Raise Napalm.